Imagine this. You're sitting at your desk, sipping coffee, or maybe taking a break to scroll through your phone. Suddenly, the air shifts. An urgent broadcast interrupts every channel. A voice, trembling but resolute, says, "Missiles have been launched." You have minutes to act. This isn't a drill. This is the moment the world has always dreaded but never truly prepared for. What happens next? The warning. Picture this. In a high-security bunker, a newly inaugurated president stares at a screen. An advisor speaks quickly, their voice firm but laced with urgency. Nuclear missiles are inbound. You have minutes to authorize a response. The tension in the room is palpable, the weight of history pressing down on everyone. Outside the bunker, the world remains blissfully unaware for now. The president is told that an Allied defense exercise was underway when enemy satellites detected unusual activity. Miscommunication? A show of strength gone too far? It doesn't matter anymore. The missiles are in the air. They're unstoppable. They've been launched into space, and their warheads are now hurtling back toward Earth at terrifying speeds. The first minutes. In those critical moments, the president's military advisors paint a grim picture. Enemy intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, have been launched. Some are from underground silos, others from mobile launchers, massive trucks carrying death on their backs. The targets? Key military installations, nuclear command centers, and naval bases. But secondary targets include power grids, oil refineries, and major infrastructure near densely populated cities. Casualties, the advisor says, their voice heavy, will be unimaginable. And they're not just talking about the immediate blasts. Fallout, fires, and radiation will claim lives long after the explosions. The president's choice now determines whether this catastrophe spirals into global annihilation or leaves any hope for survival. The unstoppable machines. Here's the terrifying reality of modern nuclear war. Once the missiles are launched, they're almost impossible to stop. The enemy has planned for this. Decoys, inflatable balloons designed to mimic warheads, confuse intercept systems. High-altitude detonations fry radar systems, rendering missile defenses blind. Anti-ballistic missiles are deployed, but the chances of intercepting even a fraction of the incoming warheads are slim. The odds are not in humanity's favor. Advisors suggest launching a counterstrike immediately. The president hesitates, glancing at the launch button that could end millions of lives. If we don't retaliate now, an advisor warns, we might never have the chance. The counterstrike. Nuclear submarines submerged deep in the ocean offer a glimmer of hope. Invisible and undetectable, these stealthy vessels carry enough firepower to destroy entire continents. Bombers loaded with nuclear payloads wait on standby, ready to take to the skies. Every second counts. If the enemy's warheads strike first, these assets might be destroyed before they can launch. The president's decision comes down to this: strike back now or risk total destruction. But retaliation means launching warheads at enemy silos, infrastructure, and cities. Millions more will die. And the fallout? It's not just physical. It's moral. It's ethical. It's the realization that the world will never be the same. The fallout. As missiles find their targets, the world descends into chaos. Cities are leveled. Survivors emerge from rubble, their faces pale with shock. Emergency broadcasts urge people to shelter in place, away from windows, but it's too late for many. The sky turns dark with soot and ash, and the air becomes unbreathable in some areas. Radiation begins its deadly work, seeping into soil, water, and air. It's not just about the immediate deaths from the blast or burns. Long-term exposure means cancer, genetic mutations, and a slow, painful decline for countless survivors. Crops fail. Supply chains collapse. The global economy grinds to a halt. The world is plunged into a nuclear winter. The human factor. How did it come to this? History shows us how close we've come before. A mistaken reading on radar. A scientific rocket misinterpreted as a missile. A reflection of sunlight on clouds that fooled a satellite. Each time, cooler heads barely prevailed. But what if, next time, they don't? One wrong move, one misunderstood signal, and the fate of humanity rests in the hands of a single leader. The fog of war, the confusion and chaos of conflict, means decisions are made with incomplete information. Good intentions aren't enough when the clock is ticking and the stakes are this high. The way forward. So, what can we do? Accepting the inevitability of nuclear weapons is accepting the inevitability of their use. But history also shows us that progress is possible. Decades ago, the world had tens of thousands of nuclear warheads. Today, through treaties and negotiations, that number has decreased significantly. It's not enough, but it's a start. Each of us has a role to play. Governments and militaries aren't separate from the people. They are us. Change begins with awareness, with demanding action from our leaders, with the belief that a different future is possible. Every step toward disarmament, no matter how small, is a step away from the brink. A final thought. Nuclear war isn't just a distant nightmare. It's a possibility, one that demands vigilance, wisdom, and action. But it's not inevitable. The choices we make today shape the world of tomorrow. So, let's choose wisely. Let's choose hope. And let's choose a future where humanity doesn't just survive but thrives. Are you ready to be part of the solution? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and remember, change starts with us. Stay curious. Bye-bye.